In 2 days until Oxford City arrive, first home game of the season. How are things looking?
Yeah, good. We had a good training session on Tuesday evening. Really pleased with the way they put their effort in and applied themselves to the job they're asked to do. We'll be training again this evening, and then obviously planning for Saturday. It's going to be hot, we know that, so we've got to make sure we get everything organised in terms of the welfare of the players, looking after them, making sure they're looked after during the match, and hopefully we can get a big crowd in, which will be great, because I think it showed against the Arsenal game is that, you know, when we get a crowd in here, that it does help our performances.
And squad-wise, Mitchell Reese picks up a knock during that game at Chelmsford, but Monash Lundar is on the way back in. Have you got any updates on those sort of?
Again, it'll be how they train tonight. Both joined in some training on Tuesday night. Again, they'll train this evening, and then we've got to see if we've got any reactions before Saturday. As I say, it'll be good to get Monash back in there. And I think we see in the first half last week how important Mitchell is. So, but again, it just gives us a bit of a headache in terms of squad-wise, because the squad is a bit big at the moment. But we knew that going into the start of the season with so many games at the start of the season, we needed to keep the squad quite big, and it's important we do that because you will pick up injuries and suspensions as you go into the season.
And obviously you've got 2 games quite quickly for the first time this season, Saturday, Tuesday. You've got a squad of 20 odd. How are you looking to balance that across those 2 games?
Again, Will, we won't know until we know Romeo's definitely out. Hugh Dawson had a virus on Tuesday night and missed training. Monash and Mitchell, obviously, with these knocks. So we won't really know until after the game on Saturday where we are. I mean, we'll have a squad for Saturday, which is where we are. And then we've got to see where we are with the knocks and the bruises and strains, and we've got to see where we are with the heat, because heat exhaustion. We've got to be very careful we don't suffer with that, because that's something that will only players will only react to that after the game. So we've got to see where we are with that. We've got to make sure we get the fluids on board very quickly. We've got to make sure that they hydrate as quick as they can after the game, and get their bodies back to normality very quickly. But we've got to also be careful that we don't do it too quickly. So that's something we're going to have to monitor for an hour or so after the game, to make sure that they're taking on their drinks, they're taking on the isotonic drinks, and making sure that they're rehydrating their body as quickly as possible.
And obviously the 2 games are 2 teams who were in amongst it last year. Conflicting styles though, but are you expecting a tough challenge both games?
As I've said to you last week, and I'll say it again now, this league brings nothing but tough games. The minute you feel that this league has got a weakened opponent in it, you're going to get kicked in the backside with it, because the more I see it now, the more it's becoming like a national league. I think the National League is like the 3rd division, and a number of teams in the National League are good enough to hold their own in Division 2. So it's a league where a number of players have dropped from the National League into the Conference South and Conference North, and it's made it a really competitive league. So I would never go into any game underestimating any of our opponents. I think every game we play will be as tough as the previous game, and we've just got to make sure we plan and prepare correctly. We make sure we do all our homework on our opponents, and if on the day we're not quite good enough, we have to take the consequences. But hopefully, as the season goes on, we'll be better than most of our teams, and we can pick up points as we go along.
Thank you, Ian.
Cheers, Will. Thank you.